Hello, and again, welcome to the Aperture Science Computer Aided Enrichment Center.
I think I should just record this entire video like this. Oh, you can even see myself like right here. Oh, that's freaky. This is the Portal radio build. A really easy 3D, come on, focus on the radio. Just a super easy 3D print project that honestly anyone can do. And the only thing that you really need to pull it off is obviously a 3D printer. White filament, black filament, a little bit of glue, and one of these JBL Go 3 radios. It's funny, I had this whole idea of how I wanted to start this video talking about Portal, and then obviously, like, I was gonna say, oh, you know, Portal's so influential and everyone knows it. And then I was like, well, that's like super cheesy. Like, it's been 15 years at this point since the original Portal came out. So I was like, oh, everyone knows Portal. It's like, it doesn't even deserve an introduction. But since it's been 15 years, I think even that statement has gotten tiresome. So I don't even know what to say. Portal, speaker. Being able to print this base that has like a special support, painting this rim and gluing it, and also adding like, it's kind of like a functional product that you can use. It's not just something that will just kind of end up sitting on your desk. Even though this looks good on a desk, it's still a speaker at the end of the day, so hopefully it's something that you'd want to use. This isn't my design at all. This is, I stole it. Printables.com by Froggy Forge. The link will be in the description. Please buy this guy a cup of coffee. So essentially the process of this entire print was using white filament to print this entire base rack up here. This one obviously required support. I just used simple like tree support, just auto-generated it. It wasn't anything too specific. I think having a good base support for this is gonna be pretty important because everything else you're gonna kind of glue into it or put onto it. I kind of ran into issues. I'm getting ahead of myself. And then the only other part that was a little bit weird to kind of print was, if you can see in the radio, not as well focused. You see how there's actual like slits here? The reason for that is, one, it looks pretty cool. Two, it allows like a little bit of separation between the print so you can actually hear the radio a little bit better rather than just like essentially covering it up in plastic. There's two things to it. One, you had to do what was called an elephant's foot. I'm not quite sure exactly what that meant. It basically gives you like a really foundational, good first couple layers because it's only like a layer or two thick. Another thing that's quite weird is that obviously this 82.2 FM part is gonna be in black, so you're gonna need some paint. It's not something that you can, or unless you can like switch out the filament between the print. But I just found it really easy to get some blue acrylic paint and then just slosh it over. It didn't work with marker, don't try that. And then the build process was pretty simple. I feel like this face right here didn't fit in exactly perfect. Everything kind of required a little sanding, which is pretty essential for most projects. I feel like anytime you print something, you're kind of just gonna want to sand the whole thing because it'll make it a little bit easier to connect pieces in. So placing that down, and I glued it with just some simple super glue, Gorilla Glue that I have. And obviously when you sand it, it allows you to kind of get a way better bond between it. And then on the back of that, this little grate part, I just, in the middle right here, just put a huge dollop of glue. Placed that down. I painted this outside rim right here. And then I put some tape in the back just to make it a little bit more supported. Didn't have to, but why not? It's not like you're sitting inside of it or anything. And then these two parts, the little dial that doesn't twist, you just kind of press it in, and also with the antenna here. The normal size didn't work for me. I don't know if that had to do with like I said, like this base print not being like the most supported it could have been. I tried two different prints for these, one at 5% larger and one at 10% larger. And the 5% worked just enough to where I could like press it in, but like didn't have to hammer it or anything. That's what was my sweet spot. Might not be the same for every print. Like I said, it depends on how you support it. And then this antenna part, I just super glued it in, but obviously hot glue sucks ass. So no, I didn't super glue it, I hot glued it. Oh no, I broke it. And then obviously the support was very easy to print, and then the radio just fits perfectly, pretty like loosely in there. It's nothing too specific. The only thing that I left out of the print that I kind of do want to add, but just didn't really get around to it, didn't think it was too essential at the moment, was there's these little slits right here, very small on either end. And I originally thought that they would like connect to each other, but they're both like indented. So essentially what you do is you get 4 magnets, put them in each of the 4 spots that are there. So when you go to close it, it just clips in, and then you can actually like carry around the radio without it slipping. But it's already pretty, so that is why I didn't really find it the most needed. Cause like, I don't know, it's gonna mostly just sit on a desk. I'm not really gonna move it around all too much. And then obviously, it's just as simple as turning on your radio, place it in the bottom rack, attach the top rack onto it. It's a portal radio. Let's see what tunes we can get. Just like that. Hey, what do you think? I hate my dog. That's how you get a very easy to make portal radio. There's a playlist for that one song for 10 hours. So if you're really wanting to live your portal lifestyle, you can do that. So kind of like I said, it's a very bare bones, easy print. There's nothing too intense about it at all. I mean, the most intense thing is either buying the radio or the speaker if you don't have it, or painting and gluing, which I don't know. As a very beginner, fun, simple project to kind of do, and even like an afternoon if you already have all the supplies, I totally recommend it. It looks great. It sits on my TV shelf now, and it's just a speaker that I now have in my living room. I love Portal, so I think having this in a living room is very cool. But there are things that I think would be really cool to add to it. I think one of the biggest things that would be simplest would to be like this outer layer right here. I've always, like a portal radio like this should always be like pure glossy. Like you should be able to like see yourself in it. So sanding everything down, putting a gloss to it, I think would be great. And then I've also seen this, but adding like LEDs instead of like this painted version of the numbers here and like this outer ring. If you could like click this button for it to then turn on LEDs, I think that would be amazing. And if I also just turn on the radio so you didn't have to like constantly take it out and put it back in, I think that would be really cool. So that's something I kind of want to do, is fiddle around with the new project on this end. Please check out Froggy Forge and also his other projects. It's amazing that people can just make this and put it online for anyone to download and create. I think it's the best part of the 3D printing community. And I hate my dog.